wrote a friend of mine. It's clobbering time.
It's catchy, right?
Welcome, all geeks and nerds alike. Today, Cinema Fans brings you everything you need to know about The Thing. Part 2!
Reed Richards eventually discovered that Grimm had reached a state in which he could transform from his thing form to human form and back at will. However, Grimm feared that Alicia Masters would only love him as the Thing, for she had not known him before his initial transformation. Hence, Grimm suffered from a subconscious mental block that prevented him from becoming human. Ben Grimm grew up in poverty, and his father was an alcoholic and he was unable to hold a job. Much of the family's income came from Grimm's older brother, Daniel, who obtained funds illegally as leader of the Yancey Street Gang. Grimm, who idolized his brother, became embittered against the world when Daniel was killed in a battle between rival gangs. Grimm was only 8 years old at the time. Within 10 years, he had succeeded his brother as leader of the Yancey Street Gang after his parents died. Grimm was taken in by his uncle Jake, who had risen from poverty to become a successful physician. At first, Grimm resisted his new guardian's kindness toward him, but eventually he came to return their love. He left his life with the Yancey Street Gang behind, entered high school, and became a football star there. While he was a senior at Stuyvesant High School, Ben received a football scholarship to State University in Heegman, New York. On the football field, Ben received the nickname Grim Reaper.
While attending Empire State, he earned the eternal friendship of genius Reed Richards and promised to pilot the starship Richards intended to design and build. Also, Grimm took on military service after college to fulfill his dream of becoming a flyboy and gained experience in the astronaut program that would serve him well in his future. After reconnecting with Reed Richards, Grimm agreed to take his friend and siblings Sue and Johnny Storm on an illicit test flight of Richards' new spacecraft, but warned him of his misgivings over its shielding. While in space, the four found themselves bombarded by cosmic rays, and Grimm managed to bring the ship in for a crash landing back on Earth. Upon emerging from the wreckage, the crew was subject to incredible changes from the radiation. The pilot himself lucklessly transformed into a hulking, boulder-skinned monstrosity quickly dubbed the Thing. From then on, Grimm and his fellow travelers would operate as a team and as a family known as the Fantastic Four.
Reed Richards eventually discovered that Grimm had reached a state in which he could transform from his thing form to human form and back at will. However, Grimm feared that Alicia Masters would only love him as the Thing, for she had not known him before his initial transformation. Hence, Grimm suffered from a subconscious mental block that prevented him from becoming human.
Cool, the new Fantastic Four!
Don't forget the change.
Whoa, Dr. Doom is taking over the city!
Who's gonna stop me?
Thing!
Don't worry, kid. The Fantastic Four are on the job.
Blast him, Human Torch!
Clobbering time!
Mr. Fantastic!
Let's go for a spin, Doom.
Got him! Whoa, Invisible Woman!
This is not over.
The evil Dr. Doom is still on the loose. Better bring the Thing. His stomp and clobber sound in action is awesome. Bring on the Human Torch. His flame-on power defeats Doom's energy force.
Flame on!
Then stretch it to the limit with Bend and Stretch Mr. Fantastic. The Invisible Woman blasts back, and the Human Torch fires away. If shape-shifting Mr. Fantastic isn't enough to cut out evil, let Clobber and Crush Thing do his thing. Separate, they're fantastic. Together, they are the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four action figures, each sold separately.
Over the years, Ben maintained a bizarre enmity with the Yancey Street Gang, his former peers having passed down their resentment of Grimm to the next generation of Yancey punks. Over the years, the gang perpetrated a seemingly endless series of practical jokes, verbal abuse, and petty assaults on Grimm, though many of the practical jokes. At the same time, the Yancey Streeters took a perverse pride in their distinguished alumnus and were known to come to Ben's aid on occasion. They seemed to think only they had the right to abuse him. Though estranged from the gang, Ben remained friendly with some of his childhood chums from Yancey Street. Ben was once killed during a battle with Dr. Doom. However, Reed was certain that Ben could be resurrected. He convinced Sue and Johnny to join him in this quest, which ultimately led them to the gates of heaven itself using a modified model of Doom's old afterlife machine. Persuaded it was not yet his time, Ben agreed to return to the land of the living with his friends, and the Creator allowed it. Initially in the superhero Civil War, Ben was a reluctant member of Iron Man's side, until the Thing witnessed a battle on Yancey Street where Captain America's forces tried to rescue captured allies held by Iron Man's forces. Old Fantastic Four foes, the Mad Thinker and the Puppet Master, tried to escalate the battle, using a mind-controlled Yancey Streeter to deliver a bomb. The young man died and the Thing blasted through words both sides for not caring about the civilians caught in the conflict. He announced that while he thought the registration was wrong, he was also not going to fight the government and was thus leaving the country for France. Ben returned to New York as both sides of the Shra battled in the city. Ben was oblivious to either side that got in his way, choosing to protect the civilians from harm. At the conclusion of the war, Reed Richards and Sue decided to take a break from the Fantastic Four, leaving an opening on the team. With the Wakanda embassy in New York destroyed, the Black Panther and his wife Storm were invited to stay in the Baxter Building, and along with the Thing and the Human Torch, they formed a new Fantastic Four.
They say that a hero